It began just after midnight. The sound of explosions shattered the calm of Moscow's night sky. Sirens wailed, car alarms blared, and streams of orange fire streaked across the skyline. For the first time in modern history, the Russian capital, Vladimir Putin's most protected fortress, was under direct assault. Despite the Kremlin's endless propaganda about total control, the unthinkable had happened. Dozens of Ukrainian drones, flying low and fast, had slipped through what Russia claimed to be the most advanced air defense network on Earth. They came in waves, silent, invisible, unstoppable. And within minutes, thick smoke was rising over the suburbs of Moscow. How did Ukraine manage this? And what does it mean when the war finally hits the heart of Russia? This was no ordinary strike. This was psychological warfare at its peak, designed not just to damage infrastructure, but to tear apart Putin's illusion of safety. For over 2 years, Russians had been told that the war was distant, contained, and under control. But as explosions echoed across their own capital, that illusion crumbled. This attack wasn't just military, it was symbolic. Kyiv had proven that no wall is high enough, no radar strong enough, and no propaganda thick enough to protect Moscow from the war it started. Tonight, we'll uncover the inside story of how Ukraine pulled off one of the most audacious drone strikes of the 21st century, how it slipped past Russia's billion-dollar air defenses, and how this single night could change the entire course of the war. The seeds of this attack were planted months ago. Ukraine's drone program has evolved faster than almost any in the world, born out of necessity and desperation. When Russia began its full-scale invasion, Ukraine had only a handful of improvised aerial weapons. Now it commands a growing fleet of long-range drones capable of striking hundreds of kilometers deep into enemy territory. The October 26-27 operation wasn't a random strike, it was a coordinated message. Over 190 drones reportedly crossed into Russian airspace that night, targeting multiple regions: Moscow, Kaluga, Tula, Bryansk, and more. For the Kremlin, it was chaos. Air defenses lit up the night sky, firing frantically in every direction. Civilian videos showed streaks of tracer fire, glowing arcs of missiles, and explosions echoing through Moscow's suburbs. Russian officials scrambled to contain panic. The mayor of Moscow, Sergei Sobyanin, ordered residents to stay indoors as debris rained down. 2 of the city's main airports were forced to suspend operations. Online, Russian Telegram channels exploded with videos of fires, smoke, and terrified residents asking, "Where is our army?" But behind the confusion was a deeper truth. Ukraine had learned the weaknesses of Russia's air defense network. By overwhelming radar systems with cheap, expendable drones, Kyiv exposed how even the most fortified defenses can collapse under pressure. What began as a defensive war for survival had turned into a bold, strategic campaign aimed at shaking the Kremlin itself. This strike wasn't just bold, it was scientifically calculated. Ukrainian engineers designed their drones to outsmart Russia's radar network. By flying at low altitude, just 50 meters off the ground, the drones avoided radar detection, hiding in Earth's curvature and terrain clutter. Their small radar cross-section made them nearly invisible, while GPS-guided navigation allowed precise targeting of key sites: oil depots, airfields, and communication centers. Analysts believe Ukraine used multiple types of UAVs, some long-range strategic models, and others decoy drones meant to distract defenses. Russian response was chaotic. Pantsir S-1 and S-400 systems fired dozens of missiles. But at what? In some cases, they hit nothing at all. In others, they struck their own buildings. Footage confirmed several friendly fire incidents, including one apartment block hit by a misfired missile. Ukraine's deep intelligence likely played a crucial role. Many of these drones appeared to navigate around known defense clusters, suggesting satellite reconnaissance and insider data from within Russia. The attack was not about physical destruction. It was a test of Moscow's vulnerability. This operation revealed something shocking. Russia's massive defense system is not a shield, it's a facade. Ukraine had shown the world that even a smaller, outgunned nation can use technology and intelligence to bring a superpower to its knees. What happens when the capital of a nuclear superpower becomes a target? The consequences of Ukraine's attack ripple far beyond Moscow. First, psychological warfare. Millions of Russians are now realizing that their government cannot protect them. The myth of the untouchable motherland has been shattered. Second, political fallout. Putin's inner circle faces mounting pressure. Every explosion in Moscow weakens his grip on power. Oligarchs, politicians, and citizens alike now whisper, if Moscow isn't safe, who is? Third, military impact. The Kremlin must now divert massive air defense resources from the front lines to defend its own heartland. weakening its offensive capacity in Ukraine. And finally, global perception. Kyiv has proven it can strike deep into Russia with precision and confidence. Western allies see results. Future support, funding, and weapons will now flow more easily. But there's a darker possibility too. If Russia feels cornered, could it escalate? Some analysts warn of potential overreactions, including expanded bombardments or cyber retaliation. Others believe Putin's fear of domestic backlash will restrain him. Either way, the war has entered a new phase, one in which no Russian city is truly safe, and every night, sky brings anxiety. In the aftermath, both nations scrambled for answers. The Kremlin responded with denial and spin, claiming all drones were destroyed and no serious damage occurred. But satellite images and citizen footage told a different story. Smoke plumes, damaged structures, and scorched fields around Moscow. Meanwhile, Ukraine remained deliberately ambiguous, neither confirming nor denying its involvement, maintaining strategic silence. This psychological tactic amplifies fear. When the enemy doesn't know when or where the next strike will come, it stays on edge 24/7. Experts suggest that Ukraine's strategy is now twofold: destabilize morale inside Russia, make citizens question the regime's control, stretch Russian resources, force the military to defend hundreds of potential targets instead of focusing on the front. As for solutions, Russia is now racing to adapt. They're developing AI-assisted radar tracking, new jamming systems, and layered drone shields around key cities. But these require time, resources, and trust. Three things Moscow is rapidly losing. Ukraine, on the other hand, continues innovating. 3D printed drones, extended range engines, and swarm intelligence are now part of its arsenal. The balance of power in warfare is shifting, not by might, but by technology and adaptability. October 26-27 wasn't just another night in the Russia-Ukraine war, it was a turning point. The attack on Moscow proved that distance is no defense, and that technology can rewrite the rules of power. For the first time, Russians in their own capital felt the same fear that Ukrainians have endured for years. And as smoke rose over the Kremlin, one truth became clear: the war is coming home. For Putin, this is more than a military embarrassment. It's a psychological defeat. The illusion of control is gone. The man who promised to defend every inch of Russia couldn't even defend his capital's skyline. For Ukraine, it's validation, proof that innovation, intelligence, and determination can overcome even a superpower. Every drone that pierces Russian airspace is a message. We can reach you. But this story isn't over. With each new strike, the stakes rise. Will Russia retaliate harder? Or will this pressure finally push it toward negotiation and peace? That's the question haunting Moscow tonight. If you want to see how far Putin's desperation has gone, including the fake victories his regime is staging to convince the world it's winning, check out our next investigation linked on screen. Subscribe to Hidden Realms Explorer for more deep dive analyses on modern warfare, geopolitics, and unseen truths shaping our world. Because this war isn't just being fought on the battlefield, it's being fought for the minds of millions.